Morning. I'll come up with another idea for some future videos about prepping. Medical skills that I used to do as a medic, that I could do as a nurse practitioner, that the average person can't do. You can talk about it, but unless you get some formal training, and there's just certain skills, certain tasks, and a couple that came to mind, and some of them you can do, but you don't know really how to do it. Some of them are so vital that you really need to learn how to do it, but you got to have a medical license of some type to do it. And if shit hit the fan, that medical license isn't going to help you because there's nobody with that license around. So what I got so far, came to my mind so far, was something simple: how to apply a tourniquet. Okay, that's a vital skill. So the second skill that came to my mind is how to do a needle decompression with a 14 gauge needle. Now that's for a tension pneumo. And it's a vital skill. And most preppers don't have anything in their IFAC to handle something like that. Because one, you usually pack an IFAC for you, not for somebody else. And you're not going to put a 14 gauge needle in your chest. So it's just something to think about. The third one here, or the fourth, was how to remove an abscess tooth. I mean, let's face it, that's the biggest dental carry that the majority of people will face during shit hitting the fan. And if it's beyond repair, it just needs to be pulled. How to do it. And the thing is how to do it and take the whole tooth out and not rupture the tooth and leave components in there. I'm not a dentist, but there are emergency dental kits. But I'm just pointing out what I consider to be more important skills. So I'm driving to work this morning, Monday. Anyway, the final, and there's going to be more, but for the video that I'm going to be working on, is inserting a nasal pharyngeal airway, or as I call it, a nasal trumpet. Now, nasal trumpets aren't typically in an individual's first aid kit. Hell, I don't know what you pack in your individual first aid kit, but are you packing an IFAC? So those are 5 vital skills I think preppers should be familiar with and train on in case shit hit the fan and the things that you have to know how to do. I'm not going over 5 things that you know how to do already, but really, these are 5 skills that are important to have mastered. And yeah, you're not going to master it. Oh yeah, and suturing, of course. I missed suturing. And the thing is, I'm not going to talk about using fish wire to suture a wound. I'm talking about using suture material to suture a wound. Number 5, I almost forgot number 5. Those skills. There's other skills in other videos that I'm going to make, but that's going to be my first focus as a the medical prepper in me, and the medical. And understand that this is just for education and entertainment only. I'm not certifying anybody to do anything. And I just want to do it to open your eyes about things that need to be done, and shit hit the fan. And if there's nobody else to do it, what are you going to do? It rained all weekend, and I got to go take my CZ Scorpion 3 Evo 1 S1 3 to the gun range. And I shot a couple hundred rounds through it. It was great. And I jammed twice. It really not too bad. I tried using 2 different scopes. One was a feet in front of you to see the aperture, and that didn't work out. And the other is my Burris AR 536 1 to whatever magnification. No, it's a fixed prism. I'm sorry. It's a 5x fixed prism scope that I have on my Scorpion. A little bit behind the scenes in prepping for the video, I, for the life of me, could not find where my other magazines are for my CZ Scorpion. For the life of me, I couldn't find them. So that means it's time to reorganize my my weapon area and straighten my preps out, the preps that I keep out urgently, and reorganize everything. But I can guarantee you, it's right is in front of my face. I just can't see it. So I think my next set of videos that I'm going to make in regards to our Second Amendment rights, I have to do my 50 cal. And then I can do some videos on different pistols. I'm not a pistol guy. I'm more of a rifle guy, either bolt action or semi-automatic. What's your favorite? And the thing is, around here, okay, because these people are from the urban area, to them, when you say you're going to go shoot your guns, they automatically assume you're talking about a pistol. Because God forbid you have a rifle. They're so brainwashed about stuff. And around here, most of the gangbangers gangbang with pistols anyway. So be it. Now, I don't know who this lady thinks she is, but I guess I need to turn in. I'm letting you in, lady. You didn't fucking see that up ahead, huh? Irving. Anyway, It's funny how I don't like people sometimes. I guess other skills that emergency medical skills that would be good to have knowledge about would be how to incise and drain a wound, IND, which is more complex than you think, because of the anatomy of the body. And there's some spots that you can apply anesthetic. There's some spots that just got to make a hole and drain it out. So I'm thinking along those lines as far as airways and cricothyroidotomy. That would be a good emergency skill that you can't readily learn taking a CPR class. That's where you go here and you put an artificial airway in the cric. Speaking of emergency airways, a combi tube where you have a dual airway system, one that protects the stomach, one that protects the airway. That'd be a great video. So there's certain ideas or some things that I can, if I wanted to get grotesque, I guess I could get a little grotesque, but I don't really want to. This isn't Civil War, but if you had to create an amputation, how would you do that? Now, obviously, I've never amputated anybody. I'm just throwing that out there. That would be a prepper skill to think about if you had to amputate something. Yeah, I know. Probably lost all my viewers saying that out loud. But these are some prepping life-saving skills that I think are important. Now, the one that isn't so, how do I put it? The one that's not so dramatic, but equally important, is how to evaluate someone for bronchitis or pneumonia and treat them. Because that pneumonia, when shit hits the fan, that's what's going to kill a lot of people. Now, there's another skill set. Honestly, it's so simple. I could just look through some of my emergency medical books and come out with skills that you wouldn't do, but you would need to know how to do in case something happened. I mean, there's some pediatric emergencies that are important to learn. Okay, so that's how I would go about with that. I do a lot of naturopathic videos, and for the life of me, I don't understand why a lot of the prepping community on my page, it's not exciting, I guess, because no one ever hardly watches them. But yet on the Facebook, they're always, it's mostly these women, some guys too. They talk about how to grow that it's so important for you to grow natural herbs to survive instead of taking medicine. And I'm thinking to myself, you live in the urban area, where the hell are you going to grow these herbs at? And if you live in a northern urban area, okay, even if you were out in the country, urban area, or in the country up north, A lot of these herbs need to be grown subtropically. And then that's all they say. And then they post a reused or rehashed image of a list of herbs that would not grow in their grow zone. But apparently, for some reason, my audience doesn't really care for that. But I still continue to make those alternative medicine videos because I think it's important. And it'll come around. It'll come around. And I understand, too, that I've really worked on making my video skills improved. That some of my videos basically sucked. Should I delete them? No. But I've worked on honing my presentoir, as it were, how I presented my videos to make them much funner to watch. It's a skill. So I might go back and redo those videos, same material, but just present them better. It's an art how you present videos on YouTube. What's amazing is this 4-minute video that I made about 3 weeks ago has gotten almost 20,000 views. And I really put little effort into it, but it just hit a niche with everybody. I'm so excited about that. And that's really my secret sauce for making these videos. So I got something to work on. And everything's got to have a great hook line, okay? I guess to like, oh, let's reel you in, motherfucker. And we're going to watch this video. But I don't like to say things unless they're absolutely 100% me. I don't hook line anybody with something that's false advertisement. Not my nature. The other video that I make that nobody seems to watch are my freeze drying videos. And I don't get that because everyone in the prepping community talks about having freeze dried food for survival. But really what they're talking about is going out and buying the freeze dried food for survival. And talking about having these buckets of freeze dried food for survival. Not getting a freeze dryer, making your own freeze dried food. And enjoying that process of knowing whatever you put in your child's mouth came from what you made. And that's okay too. And what I get mixed results from is when I do my garden videos. The prepper garden. And by the way, the prepper garden is flourishing. A quick update. Oh, look, a Bronco from the old days. Oh, that's a Cherokee. I'm sorry. From the old days. I've got my ginger plants. They're starting to grow. It's a miracle because I didn't think anything would grow. They're popped up and they're flourishing. A couple of my tomato plants don't look like they're going to make it. And that's my fault because I overplanted the beds. I have one more action that I can take for my beds. Transplant one of my tomatoes plants to this other bed that was full of cantaloupe that grew from last year that I don't want. I'm down. I have 2 cantaloupe plants growing now that I let stay, but I didn't intend to grow cantaloupe. So, but I am. Got tons of zucchini already, and I've been eating the hell out of it. And we're going to try to make some freeze-dried zucchini chips. But we're not doing it. We are doing it. With the chips, just slice the zucchini up, add some barbecue flavoring or whatever flavoring. I wanted some. My wife wanted some. And we put it in the freeze dryer. And it'll come out crispy. I've freeze dried zucchini before. It basically, and when you put the flavoring, it gets into the zucchini plant. And you didn't realize how watery zucchini really are. You think it's a dry crop, but no, because there's a lot of water in my freeze dryer that's coming out from those zucchinis, or summer squash, or whatever you want to call it. No, it's zucchini. And how really is the summer zucchini? It has the outside of it has a waxy taste a little bit, or a waxy texture, but the zucchini itself doesn't really harbor much flavor. It's a good plant to have with other more tasteful vegetables or meat or something. So I'm real happy with my zucchini. So what I can do is I can tell how many viewers are watching, and when I start talking about something that's boring, like the prepper's garden, the viewership goes down. And then when I start talking about something that's more exciting, like how for my next gun video, I'm going to go out to that gun range in Connorsville and shoot my 50 cal. Excuse me. And I think you have to reserve time. So I think I'm going to reserve like a couple hours in the morning, and then a couple hours again, a couple hours later, and make a day of it to fix any glitches that I have in the system. Of course, Connorsville's 4 hours away. I'm not coming back here to do that. So I'm excited. So that's what I'm going to do for my next video. I like talking about it here. And then I shoot my video. I go to the gun range. Now, this gun range goes out to 1,400 meters now. Before, it was not so far. Definitely a good place to take my 50 cal out. But I still got to get my 50 cal zeroed on not just a zero like I did in the backyard, where I zeroed it, the scope to the barrel, but I need to zero it at 100, 200 yards on target and zeroing it suppressed. So that suppressor weighs about 10 pounds, I think. It's heavy. It's called an AAC Cyclops. The great thing is They're fun to shoot, and that it's so easy. It's so easy to clean. The bore of the barrel and the rifling is easy to clean. The bolt assembly is easy to clean. The trigger guard comes out. It's easy to wipe down. So I had mine modified. So I have basically it becomes it's a tripod in itself because I have a monopod in the back and I have my attached tripod in the front, which is great for shooting on the ground. And it's easy to adjust elevation. Now you still have to use your hand a little bit to manipulate it, but it gives you in that ballpark area. Turn off my air conditioning. It's 68 degrees out. The only other issue that I'm going to have that I got to work on is getting a camera that can magnify the target that much better, because my current camera that I have doesn't magnify that well. This guy's a fucking idiot. Swerving into traffic. Wonder if it was suicidal or it just doesn't like me. I don't know. Because I got to keep my peripherals. Guy was swerving right into me. So today's Monday. Don't look like they have, usually Mondays I used to work from home. So I would just have video appointments or telephone appointments. But now I have to go into work. So they haven't adjusted my schedule yet, where I'm still just doing telephone visits on Mondays. It looks like. I'll keep busy enough as it is. I would enjoy, are there any, how do I put it? Any medical skills that non-medical people I think are important to have mastered that I could discuss? Any ideas besides what I've come up with? Leave a comment on this channel, on my video here on YouTube, if you're watching. I try to respond. Well, I respond to every comment that I get, and I'm getting more and more comments. That's great. One comment that I got was the volume on the music is too loud. To cut the music out. But I like to have the music in my videos. It helps to spill the dead space when I talk, just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm lowering the volume down of the music for this. Just face it, I'm no Dick Cavett. I don't interview quite well and talk how I talk. I've accepted that. This monotone. I don't even know what part of the world my voice is from. Excuse me. This weekend, I shot my CZ Scorpion with one magazine, but that's okay because I was only shooting at different targets. I was shooting 5 at each target. Watch the video. It's fun. Oh, we got a school bus. What the hell's going on here? They're not picking up anybody for school. She just doesn't know how to drive. I don't know. They have weird school start times in this area. Oh. On the lighter side, my thoracic spine was just killing me this weekend, okay? So I asked my daughter, just walk on my back. And of course, when she hears walk on my back, that means jump. But one of her jumps actually helped realign my thoracic spine and popped it back into place. I feel so much better. And I mean, it was hurting where I would cough, it would hurt. That's what happens when you jump out of airplanes and you got a bad back. You pay for it. I'm on to work here. It's 7:47. So what's everybody's favorite time of the day? Like the numbers on the watch or the clock, okay? Like for me, 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. is my favorite time of day. 3:38 is one of my favorite times of day. 3:08 is favorite time of my day. 2:23 is one of my favorite times of days. Are you getting where I'm getting at with this? 9 o'clock is one of my favorite times of day. 3:06. That's an okay favorite kind of day. What about you? What's your favorite time of day? Anyone? Well, let's just be honest, folks. My favorite time of day is 2:23. 5 o'clock is great. 5 o'clock is pretty expensive. 3:38 is favorite kind of day, but it's pretty expensive. And of course, 3 p.m. That's not a cheap time of day, but it's just fun. 3:08 is okay. It's mid range, you know. Oh, here we go. Off to work. And we'll see what, God knows what emergency comes up that needs to be resolved right here and there. Over these railroads. Tracks, I guess. Yeah. Well, I'm going to cut it off early here. Everyone have a good day.